Good evening. Good evening. What's going on? This is Second to None. I am your host. Another great weekend, another great week of college basketball for the SEC. But we can't go any further until we acknowledge who actually hosts us. Chris, who actually hosts us and takes care of us?
Well, we want to say a huge thank you to Variety Sports Network for giving us a platform to do our shows on. Variety Sports has a wide network of podcasting available for viewing and listening pleasure. They offer various platforms such as VSN Collegiate for college-based shows and the main VSN channel. You can find Variety Sports at variety_sports_ on Twitter and at Variety Sports Network on YouTube. They also upload all of our content on the various audio platforms such as Apple, Spotify, and Anchor. Whatever your sports fix, go ahead and give Variety Sports Network a look. They have shows for everything from college basketball, college baseball, hockey, NFL, various. They have NFL basic as well as team specific shows. Give them a look. Great bunch of people to work with, and I'm very thankful that they've given us a platform to do this on.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I tell you, when those guys actually asked us to be a part of them, it was definitely a no brainer right out the gate. So definitely thanks to Variety Sports Networks for hosting us and taking care of us. Well, guys, it was a great weekend of college basketball. I just run through the scores and then we'll get started. We actually got LSU and Missouri, Ole Miss playing right now. Got Missouri over Georgia 85-63. Arkansas lost to Alabama 86-83. That was a close game. Um, Mississippi State was able to finally beat Texas A&M. Those guys had the longest win streak in the SEC, so they go down. UK absolutely destroys Auburn 86-54, and Tennessee took care of business at home against South Carolina 85-45, and closing it out, Vandy at home against Florida with an 88-72 win, rebounding from that horrible loss this week against LSU. Guys, what a great day of college basketball. How you guys doing today, man?
I
Doing
feel
good.
I feel better than I did Wednesday night. That's for sure.
Well,
Doing
I can
good.
definitely understand that. That's for sure. Matt, I know you
I'm
got to be
glad that you
definitely
called
making
that
your
loss
Jets.
too, Bobby.
What's that? Say that again, Ken.
I said he called that loss for Vanderbilt. That's his fault.
Well,
Wait,
he
Talking
did
about Chris.
say that it was
He said they were going to lose to LSU.
well, he
He
said it
did
was a
say it.
trap game.
He did say it, so
I,
he ain't got nobody to blame but himself.
I think he
I mean,
was.
He did say it.
33 years of taking gut punches like that. I knew what to expect, and Vegas will always tell you when something's up. When one of the hottest teams in the SEC goes to play the worst team, and they're only a 2-point favorite,
Somebody knows something.
somebody knows something. So
Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't think it comes as any shock that we lost that game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was a heartbreaker. But I'm glad you guys was able to go to Florida and actually rebound. Bounce back from that loss against Vandy. So uh, I think I want to start off with the story out of Alabama. Really, uh, I know that for their celebrations with Miller, they like to pat him down as if like they're searching for a weapon or something. How do you guys feel about that? I mean, considering what just happened in Alabama recently and everything that's going on around the gun charges and the murder and all that, is that something that they should actually see? Is that something that they should actually tell them not to do, and just to be a little bit more sensitive to the situation? Chris,
Um, I've been on this all day, and I'm just gonna say it. Can They've done that pat down all year long from game one all the way through. My personal take is after what came out in testimony this week from police officers, that Brandon Miller was a witness to this and a cooperating witness. There's no evidence that he's done anything wrong.
Okay.
But for them to continue to do this and make that is 100% the most tone deaf thing I've seen in sports in quite some time. It's tone deaf.
Absolutely. I mean, and I think what makes it so bad is, like I said, consider what happened with the whole incident. The last thing we want to be trying to bring up or try to look for per se is definitely guns on somebody. It's like saying, "See, I don't have a gun," or blah blah blah. So I don't know, but yeah, I definitely agree with you, and I think it's something that the university, Coach Nate Oates should actually say, "Hey, maybe that's just not something that we should be doing right now, just because of everything that's going on." So I think it's something that maybe they should maybe do away with. Matt, you got any feelings about? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And while we're on the topic, we might as well address the monkey and the elephant in the room, so to speak.
Okay.
And yeah, that kind of fits the elephant in the room because Alabama's the topic. I'm 100% okay with Brandon Miller playing.
Okay.
There is no evidence that he's done anything wrong. We do know that all he has done is cooperate with authorities. He violated no law. And all we know is that he received a text message. What we don't know is if he actually read the text message. There's no evidence to suggest that he knew what was going to happen.
Okay.
And in this, he still has rights. And to make him ineligible based on assumptions where people think they're lawyers and know better than the authorities involved, I don't understand that process, because he has rights and he should be allowed to play because there's no evidence that he did anything wrong. So I'm perfectly okay with how they're handling the situation and letting him continue to play.
And let me say this: these past two games, even though Alabama went to overtime with South Carolina, like he's playing like a madman right now, and Auburn's going to have to face him, and Auburn's going to get it too, if we're just going to be honest. So Miller's playing out of his mind these past few games, and it's like he's just playing with a chip on his shoulder because everyone basically, had the worst to say about him. So now he's like, okay, I'm gonna come out. I'm gonna show you guys a whole new, brand new me, and that's definitely what he's doing, and he's definitely carrying Alabama on his back. That is for sure.
You have to give Alabama credit. I mean, they've come back from a double-digit deficit at halftime against Arkansas. I mean,
Yep.
on their home court. I mean, they're playing like a team that deserves the number 2 ranking in the country. I mean, they've withstand just about every obstacle you can take. I mean, considering they got beat by Oklahoma by 30. A few weeks ago. I mean,
yeah,
Alabama's playing like they want to make a statement.
Yep.
And to go along with that, the performance earlier this week against South Carolina, where they had all of the drama going on that day and everything happening.
Yep.
And to be able to pull that game out with all the drama and off-court activities, that speaks highly of that team.
It really does. Those guys, they were, I think you have to give the coaching staff some credit for getting those guys to tune out the chatter and all the clutter and just go out and just do what they do, and that's play basketball. Ken, what's your thoughts?
Hey, look, I agree with Chris. Everything come out. At first, I was against it. Everything that's come out, I agree that he's allowed to play basketball, but I'm still not. I know they're playing good basketball, but like I've said all year long, I think they go out early in the turn. Chris disagrees with me. Hey, I'm okay with that.
So today, man, was interesting. I think we're having some problems.
No, I just said I think he should be able to play.
Okay, yeah. So I think that I think really the game of the day has to be that Alabama, not Alabama, but well, actually, you can actually choose between Alabama and Arkansas and Auburn and Kentucky. I think the game that really had the most riding on it, especially when we're talking about seeding for the SEC, was definitely that Auburn and Kentucky game. I think a lot of people said Kentucky could win the ball game, but did everyone really expect Kentucky to just dominate from the beginning to the end? Because Kentucky just completely shut down Alabama, and they had nothing. They had no answer for him. Ken, you're a diehard Tiger fan. What's your thoughts on the ball game?
They come out and play the best basketball I've seen Kentucky play all year. Somewhere they should have been a long time ago, but I'm just saying. They're playing with a chip on their shoulder for some reason.
Absolutely.
I will say this. A couple of us got on a phone call last night, and I made the comment that I didn't think Kentucky had the guard play to contend with Auburn's guards because of how quick they are and how much they shoot the three. Oh, was I ever wrong? They just dominated that game from start to finish. I was actually surprised with the way they played today.
I predicted Kentucky would win 80-66 on my chat, and of course that, I thought, Auburn would have played a little better, but they just
they didn't even make it to 60. I mean, that was a complete annihilation of Auburn Tigers. And just like I was telling Ken before we got on, just for an Auburn team as good as they've been over the years, for them to come into Kentucky, and Kentucky got to empty the bench on them. They got to put in the subs of the subs of the subs because they was beating them so bad. I think that's a big testament of, as you just said, Ken. I think they're playing with a chip on their shoulder. And Ken, you said something very, very, very cool about Kentucky. What did you say that Kentucky would do for the SEC?
Which part about? For
the tournament.
Oh, they're gonna get to the double bye. They're locked in unless they choke this week, and I don't see that happening.
Do you see Kentucky going the farthest in the tournament? You think they'll go the farthest in the tournament over any SEC
They will
team?
go the farthest in March Madness. They will be the last SEC team in March Madness. I'm saying that now. I will put that on record. I will say that now. They will make it farther than Alabama. I will go as far as saying this. I'm an Auburn fan, but my pick on the first three teams out of the SEC tournament is Alabama, Auburn, and Arkansas.
There you have it, man. And that's
Kentucky makes it the farthest.
He makes it. Matt, do you disagree with that, or you think he's You think he's too premature?
No, I think he's right on spot. I mean, it's Kentucky's. It's all up to Kentucky. They have a chance to. I want to see some rematches. Bad. I want to see them replay Alabama. I want to see them replay, Missouri.
That would be good. Yeah, because Missouri.
I will say this.
Won. Okay.
I will go out and say this. 3 weeks ago, when Kentucky lost, everybody was like, no, Kentucky's not getting in. Kentucky's not getting in. It's a proven fact. They've played 8 Tier 1 schools this year. They've won 6 out of 8. That is enough on the resume to pin. They still have 2 Tier 1 games. No, 1 or 2 Tier 1 games left. I think it's 2 before we even go into the SEC tournament.
Well, I know Arkansas
There's
is.
6 of 8.
Arkansas. I think Arkansas is, but I'm not sure.
Vandy's a Tier 1 right now. Are they not, Chris?
No,
Nope.
No. They're not a tier
We're
one.
we're
Okay.
just
Well,
below
they got
quad one.
one.
We're currently a quad two. We're right around 75
It's still-
to 80.
But that's still not a bad team.
Okay,
I
so-
mean, and
They got a quad one tonight. If they beat Arkansas, that'll give them 7-9 quad one wins this year. If they beat Vanderbilt next Saturday, that'll help them on a top tier quad two team. I mean, it's always been said, doesn't matter how you start, it's when you get hot. And Kentucky got hot at the end of the season.
So to counter his
And
point,
nobody
about,
argued that.
to counter the
no,
point,
nobody
about-
can argue that.
yeah, but to counter the point of them going the farthest in the tournament, that's taking a broad paintbrush on Kentucky right now. If I'm an opposing coach in the NCAA
You know what,
tournament,
Chris?
and I'm one of these offset teams, I'm throwing a zone defense on you. I'm playing zone all night long. I'm packing the paint. I'm not going to let Oscar beat me. I'm going to put it on your guards that are not consistent three-point shooters to beat me. Kentucky doesn't shoot well enough from the outside to win a game against a quality opponent.
But,
What they're doing, they're dominating in the paint in the games that they're winning.
I mean,
So-
we had, but did you? Just today alone. I mean, we had 4 guys in double figures today.
And sometimes they do shoot well,
Yeah.
but they don't do it consistently. That's
Okay.
that's the issue. So if I'm an opposing coach, say let's take Creighton for instance. If I'm Creighton and I get matched up with Kentucky, I'm running zone defense all night long, and I'm going to pack the paint and make your guards beat me.
I can understand that.
And that's the knock on Kentucky is they're not consistent enough from the outside.
In Kentucky's last 13 games, they're 10-3 with Jacob Toppin. What he scored in double figures the last 13 games.
I think so. He's
They
been playing ball.
figured out the pick and roll. I mean, and with Wheeler not running the point, and then now you got
Thuro.
Wallace running the point.
Yeah. Wallace.
And I mean, no disrespect to Wheeler. I mean, but if we get him back, I mean, it's going to help Wallace out with some, to rest him up. I mean, but Kentucky it's all about playing your defense. I mean, let's face it, Kentucky right now, tonight, the way they played was the way they played in the Bahamas. I mean, Oscar was hurt for a while. He's back in shape. And I understand you've got to play defense in order to create offense. I mean, it's inevitable. In order to make things happen, it's up to them. I mean, everybody's not meant to play for Kentucky. I mean, you've got to lay it on the line every day. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, like I said, I think Kentucky can play. If they get their chance to play Alabama again, I think it'll be a different result.
I think it's a different team. I really do. So,
hey, I want to address. I want to address something on Kentucky. Linda just said.
Okay.
Go ahead. I want to address what Linda said. Linda, I disagree with you. Kentucky's not going to be there never will be a Cinderella team. They won't be a Cinderella team going in this year. I mean, they're not a Cinderella team. Sorry.
Okay. Well,
we got a Cinderella team. They're not.
Well, we got a star who just tuned in with us today. We got Wes. He's our Alabama guy. And let me tell
you can make it, Wes.
Hey, he's passionate about what he does. Wes, what's going on, man? Good to have you. Thanks for jumping in.
My bad, guys. I wasn't paying attention to what time it was. I was watching the end of the Dayton game and watching that Duke game.
Is Duke winning?
Duke was when they were running it up a minute ago.
Okay, I don't like that then. Yeah, so but yeah. So
I mean, hey, look, Christian Laettner doesn't play for them anymore. You need to calm down.
we don't like those guys. Hey man.
Hey Wes,
What's up, man?
I'm glad you joined us because now I can say what I got to say to an Alabama fan.
Oh God, here we go.
And I'll say it to
Who
you.
do you pull for real quick?
Alabama does not make it out the first weekend.
Who do you pull for?
I'm a diehard Auburn fan, and y'all do not make it out the first weekend. I've been saying it for a month now. Chris seems to be sold on y'all being a Final Four team. I'm sold that Kentucky goes the farthest as a SEC school now, as the farthest SEC school in March Madness. I respect Alabama, but like I said all year, the way it's looking and what they're projecting, y'all gonna get some big men teams, and Alabama not getting big men teams this year. Just saying.
I mean, they
Facts are
beat
facts.
Vanderbilt with a big man by 57 points, and they beat Kentucky
Wow.
with a big man by 40 something. So
You know.
I don't know where that's coming from.
Okay. What
Kentucky
about the Oklahoma
probably has
loss,
the
Chris?
best-
Say what?
No, they beat
What?
Alabama beat Kentucky by 20-something points. Excuse me.
Wes, what you got?
Yeah, so we only have Chris. Hey, don't give us too much credit. We only have 4 wins by 40 in conference this year, which is the most wins in conference by 40 since 1955 when Kentucky did it. We're averaging home wins by 34 points, and if you want to keep blah blah blah, we got y'all next, and you can crane all you want, but we're gonna shove the crane up your ass. Now,
Hey,
what I do
Wes,
have to say.
Hold on.
Hold on, Ken.
Hold on.
Hey,
Hold on, Ken.
I'm gonna.
hold on.
I love it.
I'm
hold
ranked
on.
number 1 in the country, and I'm speaking.
Yeah. Number 2. 1 in
Hey,
SEC.
no, we're still ranked number 1 in the country in one of the polls.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, and so and we only have 1 loss in the SEC. So I'm jumping on here is because I'm a little bit passionate about this. I'm a little bit irritated too. So I will address the elephant in the room as an Alabama fan.
Yeah.
The Brandon Miller situation has got me a little bit irritated, right?
Okay. And
Okay.
we just
Brandon
covered
Miller,
that too. Yeah.
and I understand he
Okay.
he probably didn't make the best choices, right?
Yeah.
But if the police say that he's been cleared, not just the Tuscaloosa police, by the way, the state got involved, and there have been people from other states who said that he was cleared. Why do we treat an athlete different and say that the athlete shouldn't get the benefit of the doubt when anybody else would be treated completely different? And the sentiment, if this kid was just some scrub who was barely on the bench, they wouldn't be treating it like this. But he's playing for a team right now that probably is going to get the number 1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament if it started today.
Okay.
All right. 2, he's also probably going to be a top 3 pick in the lottery.
No, he will be a top 3 pick in the lottery.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes, he
So
will
that's
be.
the thing.
Yeah.
And he's proving that he's only, hey, and you know what? Most kids would shrink under this adversity.
He's
rising.
played like a man.
He's
Yeah.
going out there and how classless were the South Carolina fans chanting "lock him up"?
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Yeah.
And then the
Yep, that
kid,
was
all
over
he
the
did was
top.
go out and bust their ass for 41.
41. Yep.
Now it's affecting his teammates worse than it's affecting him, which isn't fair. And it kind of irritates me because I'm an Alabama fan. And I want to see us go deep.
Yeah.
That we're having to deal with this. They're trying to find every little thing they can. Like today, his every day, every game, entire season, they've done the pat down. Why is that news? He was doing it in November. Nobody had a problem with it.
Okay.
They had a problem with it today because when he comes through the line when he's announced, it's a pat down. See, I done ran the Auburn guy off.
I think hopefully I know he was having some Wi-Fi issues. But
Yeah,
hopefully
no,
he'll come
he
back.
was cutting in and out.
Yeah.
So, and to address that, I agree with you. Brandon Miller's been a class act through this whole thing. I think
and you're actually the one I'm pissed at because you said he didn't deserve to be on the floor anymore.
No, I said he deserves to play.
Yeah, he
should play.
Just tonight, he was talking about how he deserves to be on the floor.
Alabama's handled it correctly. The only problem I have is, yes, you've done the pat down all year long, but given the situation, I think it says they're tone deaf.
Oh, whatever. Being tone deaf. Stop being a sissy, and you know that, Chris. You're better than that.
You got to read the writing on the wall. It looks bad.
It's a basketball game, man. He's not a politician. It's the fucking.
And a mother lost her damn life. You don't make a mockery of it.
He's not making a mockery of it. He's been doing it all year.
Okay,
it's not like he's running out there like
did the situation change? Did the situation change? Was a member of the Alabama basketball team arrested for murder? Yes or no?
So you're going to tell me that
was a member of the basketball team arrested for murder, and was their star player one of the witnesses to that?
Yes.
Then stop doing the pat down and act like you can read the writing on the wall in the room.
Oh, get out of here. Stop being a snowflake. You're better than that.
I have no problem with them doing it in any other situation, but you have to read the writing on the wall. You can't be tone deaf.
And I don't think that kid, whoever the Auburn fan is, understands. Do you know that the top 2 seeds in the tournament get to pick where they play now?
Yeah, really? Pretty much. They get to pick the
they get to pick the region and the venue, and guess where one of the regions, the opening round region, is going to be at?
It's in Birmingham.
It's in Birmingham.
Yep.
You think we're not coming out of that?
Yeah, you guys don't come out of that.
Come on, man.
That's home court.
They better. Hey, the only way we're not coming out is that the 16 seed is like Duke.
Yeah.
I think you would vote race Duke.
So
I think Alabama's been great this year.
Kentucky looks like a monster right now.
Yeah, those guys are playing ball. So
yep.
Actually, and if you watch too, you know who I think is going to make a deep run again too?
Who is that?
I think Arkansas is going deep.
Yeah, I'm back, but it's going to be hard to see.
I don't know if Arkansas goes deep.
Dude, they've got guys that can get buckets on their own, right? A lot of teams in college.
Y'all might not be able to see me. You might not be able to hear me. We just had a tractor trailer truck go through the whole transformer thing where I live. Did you hear me?
So
yeah, we hear you. We can't see you, but we can hear you.
So Ken, somebody.
I'm trying to get the way I get decent signal out here in the country.
Okay, that's only.
Did you hear me?
Only in. And we can hear you, Ken.
Where do you live in Alabama?
Mike.
I can hear you. He ain't getting it right now.
Yeah.
He lives over in Opelika.
He is I tell you, he definitely loves his Eagles.
His Auburn. It's all family.
Yeah, it's
all about the family.
It's all about the family, huh? Keep it in the what's the name? So as we, because this is the last week of SEC basketball, isn't it?
No. Next weekend.
Yeah, next weekend.
How many games?
We got 2 games left.
We got 2 games, midweek and a weekend game.
That's what I'm talking about. Next Saturday. Yeah. Man, it's about over, man. And
oh no, the real SEC season starts the weekend after or the week after
in Nashville.
Y'all got some crazy. Y'all don't call that one Catville or something like you call Atlanta Catlanta.
It's called Rupp Arena South.
Rupp Arena South.
And we refer to that
since Patino and Tubby left.
Oh yeah, it has. Calipari's won 5 SEC.
I think he's won 6. I think it's 6.
6.
How many have y'all won?
We refer to this mess down here as when they come into Nashville, we refer to Blue Mist. I can't stand it.
Kentucky owns Nashville.
But what happens
to be honest, here's the deal. To be honest, and not to throw shade at Chris, but everybody that's not Vandy owns Nashville.
Except
Well-
for Bruce Pearl.
Yeah.
He don't win in Nashville. He's one of his last 7 there.
So I
So-
guess that's good. I
But
mean,
But what
Because he's too
happens
busy
is
throwing barbecues that are unsanctioned by the NCAA.
what happens is once Vanderbilt gets eliminated, their fans sell all their tickets to the Kentucky fans just to keep the Tennessee fans out. And we do it with a purpose because we don't want Tennessee fans in Nashville.
Tennessee gonna they definitely gonna take over the house. I try to, but as they say, blue gets in.
Hey, I got a funny feeling that Crimson's going to travel pretty well this year too.
I think they will.
I think they will too. I mean, you guys are watching a superstar play. How can you not go down and support them? So,
Well,
but
yeah.
let me ask you a question though. With the way, do you really want to win the tournament and have to play all games, or would it be okay if you lost so you can get your legs up under you and get ready for the tournament?
That's some Kentucky bullshit question right there.
because if we lose, I'll be like, you know what? That's okay. We wanted to lose because we wanted to make sure that we
No,
rest our legs.
I
I want to win
win
it all.
I want to
wanna
win
win
the
it.
regular season. I want the SEC championship. I want everything. I'm an Alabama fan, man. I bring my football mentality into it.
There you go.
I
Yeah.
want to crush everybody at all times. Like when we were winning by 50, I wanted to win by more.
So you
Yeah.
so you got angry, huh?
Like when we lost to Tennessee, I saw Georgia on the schedule and I was like, please run
Right.
this up.
Beat the brakes off these guys.
And we did.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing when you guys played us is coming off that bad loss to Oklahoma. It didn't matter what happened in that game. We had no chance walking in the door.
And poor Nate Oates was like, they asked him about it, and he was like, I'm sorry. Vanderbilt's got a good team, but they just happened to be the one that played us after a loss.
Right.
Yeah.
He tried to be as PC as correct about that as he could. But I mean, when healthy, I think looking at it, when healthy, I think we could play with anybody in America because we've got a good, and as Chris loves to talk about, we've got one of the best big men in America in Bediako.
Okay.
So he can protect the. He's probably other than Kentucky's big man. He's probably the next best big man in the SEC at protecting the rim.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But what's his name? Braun. He's not too bad for Alabama.
Yep.
I'm sorry, not Alabama, but Auburn. He's
Yeah.
not too bad. Yeah.
And Liam Robbins just schooled Broom the other day.
Yeah, that's true.
We've got a deep bench. The one thing that scares me is we continue to go to Quinterly, who's been there for like 19 years.
Yeah.
He's one of the most gifted players on the floor, and he's also one of the worst players on the floor at the same time.
At the same time, he can't make up his mind on which player he wants
One
to
night,
be at.
he wants to be a turnover machine, and then tonight, like, he'll come off and he'll get you a reverse layup that's nasty. He'll hit you a clutch three. He can get by anybody in the league. He's one of the quickest guards with the best dribbles, and then he just forgets sometimes how to like play basketball. He's like, "Oh, there was no one there. Let me throw that ball away."
Sounds just like Jordan Wright.
Ugh.
The last 5 times that Kentucky has swept Tennessee, they've made it to the Final Four. And
Do you know stats like that mean absolutely nothing? Because like you're talking about like sometime in 1983 when Kentucky swept those players. Some of those players aren't even living anymore, man.
I think it was 2012. You said Tennessee swept Tennessee, right?
Yeah.
We haven't did that since 2012, but still, some of those people are gone.
Gone. Those kids are 30.
Yeah, those kids are old, man.
Ron Mercer got kids in high school, man.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, for real, dude. Like
2000
some of those players' kids are at Kentucky.
Yep.
Like, dude, Alabama just signed. We just signed a 5-star recruit who played in the NFL's kid. We just signed this past year. We signed Drake Kirkpatrick's kid.
Wow.
Jeez. And to make you feel old.
Are
and
we
make
old?
make a reference to baseball.
Yeah.
Y'all remember Kevin Brown?
I
His
know
kid-
Kevin Brown. I live
his
in Georgia.
His
I met
kid
him.
just pitched 13 strikeouts yesterday for Georgia Tech. I'm like, when did he get that old?
We're old, man.
I
think we're-
actually worked at an after-school program with his first cousin.
Oh wow.
Okay, that's cool.
And I was like, this man looks really familiar, and he's 93 feet tall.
who is he?
Yeah. So if we had to, so Chris, do you still think we're only getting 4 teams in the tournament now, man?
No.
I think 5.
No.
Possibly.
Dude, we're getting 8 teams.
Yeah, we're gonna get no less than 7.
I don't think so.
Dude, we have 8 of the top net rankings, 8 of the top 50.
I mean, I
And
get that.
Vanderbilt is on the outside at like number 70.
Yeah,
What happened to y'all? When did y'all realize that you wanted to play basketball?
I know, right?
Alabama whooped our ass.
Yep.
Exactly. You lost by more points to us in basketball than you did in football.
That's crazy.
That is. Yep.
But yeah, Jerry Stackhouse changed the way he's coaching this team. After
You
that,
still want to fire him?
Bad coaching for 4 years is hard to erase. I'm still not a fan.
It wasn't bad coach. Okay, so and I've told you the same thing. Is it bad coaching, or is it just bad facilities, bad persona, bad environment? Like, it takes a while to change that, man. Like, no,
We just went to the NCAA in 2017.
that's 5 years ago, man. That's half a decade.
Okay, and the next coach after that went 0-18 with 4 5 stars.
I mean, dude, you're talking about here's the deal. Alabama 2 years ago, we won the SEC regular season and the tournament.
Yeah,
Don't get comfortable.
that's
with
what I'm
that.
saying. If you hire a coach that gets it fixed quick, that's one thing. Stackhouse hasn't fixed it quick, and this team is everybody that he's brought in, and for some reason, the first half of the season, he couldn't get his team to play.
Oh, you mean like Kentucky?
I don't know what the problem is, but there's
Man.
a disconnect somewhere.
Y'all need to just, I'm telling you, y'all need to fire Cal.
Really?
No, they do not need to fire
Yes,
Cal.
you do. Okay, you know what? Coach Cal got one national championship. Coach
Do
Cal's
what
got as
you
many
do.
national championships as Tubby Smith, and y'all ran him off.
But Calipari had 4 Final Fours in his first 6 years. I mean, seriously,
when was the last time he did that?
Who are you going to find to replace Calipari? I mean, seriously, that's
Well,
going
now that, hey, you know what? Now that Cal can't drop McDonald's bags of money off and everybody can do it, is Cal really an elite coach? Because he never was an elite coach. Because if he could coach his players to hit free throws, he never would have left Memphis, because Derrick Rose and them would have won a national championship. And the kid who played for Miami and hit a big shot would have never been able to hit the shot for Kansas, because Derrick Rose wouldn't have missed the free throws when they were clutch. Oh, wait a second. He did the same thing with Marcus Camby, because they missed free throws and were supposed to be the best team in America. You've missed free throws with DeAndre Fox in big moments, and you choke when it comes to fundamentals. It's because you have the best players that don't care about Kentucky.
Calipari has had over 800 victories. He's a Hall of Famer. He recruits the best of the best.
He recruits the guys that are like Cristiano Ronaldo. They're hired assassins, and they don't care about Kentucky.
His idea of coaching is to get them where they want, to make them be the best versions of themselves that they can be.
Exactly. And then they leave and they don't give a damn, and you don't make it out of the Sweet 16.
But here in the last so many years, they're staying 2 or 3 years.
Because they're not lottery picks.
So I'm just going to name drop a coach.
Okay.
And get some reaction.
Where I am? He's right here.
This coach has been cleared by law enforcement. He's been cleared by district attorneys. The so-called victim in the case has come out and said, no, He only reacted to what I was doing, and it set him off.
If you say Texas
Bring-
is full coach,
Of course,
Bring
of course that's where he's
Bring
going.
Chris Beard to Kentucky, and he'll win you a national title.
well, if that's the case, why don't you bring Arizona's old coach back? Because he was a better coach too.
Miller.
Yeah.
I'll take Calipari over Beard any day.
So,
Y'all ran off the classiest coach you've ever had, and the two coaches that won championships around him were sleazeballs of sleazeballs. And I hate to say it because I'm Italian too, but they're both Italian scumbags.
Welcome to
Who are
the
you
show,
talking
man.
about?
Do what?
Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about the two coaches you had that won national championships on the other sides of Tubby.
Patino.
Rick Pitino
is a
Rick
sleaze
Pitino
bag.
went on his own. He didn't realize how good he had it. It was his fault. Patino
Well,
should have stayed.
No, he also part of the reason he ran off too is because he had problems with your upper leadership, and they didn't want to pay him what he thought he was worth.
Hate him, man.
And then
Patino, hey, Patino
and
had his off.
Tubby won a national championship pretty early on too, and had some deep runs there too. But hey, he went a stretch like Calipari has done now, and y'all ran him off.
And they called it
I
boring
think
basketball.
I think Tubby Smith was a great coach.
I do too. Tubby's the best coach that y'all have had in my lifetime.
I think what the problem is that lifetime contract, and no other coach has had that. So because of that, they owed Cal too much money, and it's just somebody wants to foot that bill to get Cal out of
Man,
there.
get out of here. You're Kentucky basketball. Foot the bill. Shut up. That's like saying they can't afford to get. And the SEC, you got so much money coming from the SEC, and we're about to sign Texas and Oklahoma and get a gazillion damn dollars.
Well, I mean, if the administration really wanted Cal out, they could buy him out. So
what was the number 2 weeks ago? Wasn't it like $47 million
I think
apiece?
it's $54 million is what they owe him. $54 million is what they owe him.
You just got 47 handed to you on the silver platter from the SEC.
Hey, and back to Rick Pitino, he wanted to leave Kentucky. He rollovers in his bed every night, wishing he would have never left Kentucky. That's a lot of it's his fault.
Didn't he win a national championship somewhere else or play for one?
Louisville.
Wait a second. It was right across the state, so it really wasn't Kentucky.
Yeah.
Because I think Rick Pitino could win everywhere. Hell, he took Iona. He took
he
Iona to the tournament.
Okay, so let me ask you guys a question. Ole Miss just fired their coach. The day before that, Rick Pitino mentioned that this was his last year at Iona. Are they working behind the scenes to maybe get Rick Pitino at Ole Miss?
Of course they will. Why wouldn't Ole Miss's trashy ass do something like that?
So
Lane Kiffin and Rick Pitino at the same school. That has to be the only thing they could do better is go hire Tennessee's baseball coach.
Yeah.
And I would pull for their athletics, and they're my least favorite SEC school.
There you go.
And let's be real, that was no accident that the day before Kermit Davis is fired, that Rick Pitino's doing interviews and video chats talking about his future at Iona.
Yeah.
That was no mistake. That was getting the name out there.
Does anybody in this call even know where Iona is?
No, I don't. Where?
Ain't it up in New York somewhere?
It could be
I
up
think
that
it's
way,
in the
yeah.
Midwest.
Yeah.
Hey, but Wes, I mean, if you compare like records, Calipari owns Rick Pitino as far as matchups when they play against each other.
Wait, let's see. Oh, it is in New York. It's in Metro New York. Good job.
Yeah. I thought it was somewhere up there too as well. Yeah. So, but aren't those guys gonna make are they gonna make the tournament this year? Or is Rick like, nope, we ain't going to the tournament. I'm out of here.
They'd have to win their championship.
He said, I got one more week and a half, and I'm out of here. I'm done with this. Ole Miss, I'll be right there. Just keep it warm for me. Go ahead and rip all the stuff off the walls. I'm coming down, and you guys could just take care of it for me. That would be very interesting.
I'm 100% convinced that they had a backroom deal in place before they let Kermit Davis go.
Look, man, here's the deal. It's not against the rules, by the way, for people to reach out on your behalf.
Yes.
Yep.
That's not against the rules.
Just to entertain it.
Yes.
Yes.
So, does anybody want to give Buzz? Do we want to give Buzz like if Nate Oates isn't the coach of the year in the SEC, is it Buzz Williams?
It might be because
I mean, it has to be.
Well, I think Nate's is going to get it. Alabama's just they're that good. But did anybody really see Texas A&M being as good this year?
Well, actually, here's the deal. They ended last season on fire and should have made the tournament last year.
They did get snubbed. Yep, they sure did.
That was a bunch of horse snot last year that they didn't make it because they rolled through the SEC tournament.
Yeah, they did.
And here's something else. Everywhere that Buzz has been,
they've been good.
They have been in the tournament in his 4th year. Everywhere.
Well, they're going this year.
I mean, here's hey man, put him at a. There was rumors for him a while back when he went to A&M about Kentucky. His name got thrown out there for Kentucky.
It was. Yep.
Look at you shaking your head. Man, go smoke your cigarette a little bit more. Take some nicotine. Let it go to your brain. Something wrong with you.
I think another one that's not getting enough credit for the job he's done is Chris Jans at Mississippi State.
Dude, that's a tough place
that's
too, man.
That's a tough to play. Yep, it sure is.
Dude, so being an Alabama grad, like, you know, Alabama and Mississippi State are actually the 2 closest schools in the SEC.
Okay.
Yep.
We're only 70 miles away from each other.
Oh, okay.
So we would go over there and watch basketball game. Like we go watch a day game if they had like a noon game, and then we come back and watch our game. And we do it with baseball because watching a baseball game, by the way,
that Duty Noble. Oh my God,
it's awesome to watch a baseball game at Mississippi State.
Yep.
Okay.
Like it's awesome.
I think they're the ones who have that chant, right, or whatever they do. I think
they have the outfield out there too with all like the scaffolds and everything. Man, it is an awesome place to be.
Okay.
But yeah, actually, and I can't remember. Does anybody
and they feed you too?
Do what?
Their fans feed you too.
Yeah, they do.
They have
they
the
actually got
the outfield. Oh my God.
The outfield and right field, they got the barbecue going, and the smoke starts coming on the field. By the way.
Yeah.
What does anybody remember the kid's name from Mississippi State that was super tall in the like early 2000s that like had all the
Dampier.
Not Dampier. It was the other kid that was super skinny. He had all the block records.
Ooh. Of Mississippi State?
Yes.
I don't remember that.
God, it's gonna drive me nuts and make me look like a bad fan here. Chris over here acting like I don't know about college basketball because I'm an Alabama fan and I only know football, but I know that my baseball team's got a better record than his.
I mean, the level of competition matters sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Does it? Oh, now you want to talk about level of competition when you start losing, huh?
I mean, when you've played number 8, number 13, number 17 in your first 7 games, that's pretty stiff.
I don't disagree with that, but you know what? We did what we're supposed to do too. We beat every team we played by like 10 or 12 runs.
Yeah.
You know, we're still ranked, by the way. Just a heads up.
Yeah, I mean, they are.
Yeah,
a lot of
he
people
wants to say something bad, but he's like, I don't really have anything that I can say right now.
I mean, what we do know is that their best player, Zane Denton, said, "Bye, I'm out of here."
Well, that's not always a bad thing, Chris. Sometimes it's addition by subtraction.
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah. You're right.
Maybe he's a cancer.
That could be.
You know, Alabama just had a whole bunch of players that that left that were kind of nudged out the door. And Nick Saban alluded to that when they transferred, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And all we did was go out and beat the crap out of the Big 10 or the Big 12 champion.
That's it.
Yeah, they did.
Hey guys, let me ask you guys a question. When you guys go buy like sports clothing and stuff like that, where do you guys go at? You just
Are we
go.
supposed to say this? Are we getting paid from a company or something?
Well, actually, no. But one of our
Sponsorship.
one of our sponsors, Roll One Brand. You guys can go online. You guys can check them out. They got a lot of sports apparel, phone stuff. Just if you love sports and you love to support your team with the brands and stuff like that, you guys can go check out Roll One Brand.
Can you spell that for us?
Yeah, ROW, the number one brand, BRAND, and use the code VSP15, and you guys can get a discount by using that code. Go check out Roll One Brand. Use code VSP115. So, well, hey Wes, man, I really appreciate you jumping on with us tonight, man.
I've been looking forward to it.
Me too. We was able to go early tonight because of the what was it, LSU and Ole Miss game, which is really kind of irrelevant. So we didn't need to wait until that game. It's a little bit it has a little to do with Vandy because of if they win it messes with the quads or whatever. But other than that, there was no need for us to wait until after that game to actually go live. So that's why we was able to go live at 7:30. Also, I don't know. Just right here, I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing next Saturday night, but I leave Tennessee for good. I'm actually headed over. Actually, I got to go to training in South Carolina for 5 days, and then I'm headed overseas for at least a year. So the time has come. I'm still trying to do this. Chris is my co-host because we're sponsored by Variety Sports Network now. So that's who we up under. Go check them out on YouTube and all that kind of stuff. They have all kind of sports. But Chris is gonna because Chris does his baseball with them, then Chris is already behind the door. So Chris can still, if my work schedule doesn't permit me to do it, then Chris, he can still get in, run everything, and we can still come and do it. The good thing about it though is basketball season will be over right after March. So we still got because of that, we got a couple months that we don't have to really be doing a whole lot. So by then, hopefully I can work some stuff out. But Chris has the ability to actually come in and actually still run the show, especially for football season as well. So I still
Chris is like, dang it. The only season that my team is relevant, and you guys say we don't have a lot to do.
Well, for second to none, he has his own baseball. He has his baseball podcast that
Chris,
he does.
Can we do a podcast and talk about Vandy's women's bowling?
I mean, they are participating in the national tournament this weekend.
I know that's I'm serious. I know that. Guys, just to let you know, Vandy's women's bowling team was the first national championship team that Vanderbilt had in the history of their school.
Yep, 2008.
Good luck.
And not to bag on Vandy, but if you want to watch an awesome piece on ESPN, it's actually about Vanderbilt's women's bowling team. It's actually I watched the whole thing start to finish. It's actually really good
on YouTube.
You can actually, if you have ESPN Plus, you have access to all those as well as like the 30 for 30s.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have to go check that out then because I'm actually going to switch over. I actually have Sling TV, so I'm going to be switching back over to ESPN once I go overseas.
So if you just let me know when offline, and I may give you some information so that we can save you a few dollars.
Okay, I talked to you about that as well. So, but hey, man, thank you guys so much for tuning in to Second to None tonight. Brought to you by Variety Sports Network. Please go check those guys out. Those guys got hockey, NFL, a little NBA, college baseball is really big. Major League Baseball is really big too. So they just have a variety of different teams who do a lot of different things. So definitely go check those guys out. Wes, thank you so much for jumping on with us tonight. I know the time is not ideal for most people, but hopefully by next season, especially for football, we'll have something worked out that's really good for everybody, so we can get max, participation. I know Dustin was supposed to jump on tonight, but he wasn't able to because he was driving home. But definitely thanks, Matt. Thank you for representing for Kentucky today. Chris, thank you for holding it down for Anchors Down. And I'm Mike. You have been watching Second to None. And thank you guys. And you guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening. We're out. Man.
As usual, Matt, you need to calm down, man, so the rest of us can get a word in.
Hey, Wes, I was going to tell you, I can't wait till Alabama comes to Kroger.